This show contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Movies with Ron, movies with Ron.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Movies with Ron.
I have breaking news.
Do it.
Tom Cruise is moving to Clearwater, Florida.
Wow.
Whoa.
Meaning he'll be 4 hours away from us.
Yeah. Right around the corner.
Your nightmare of not being saved by Scientologists is coming closer and closer. Do you remember that?
What?
You talked about being afraid of dying on a road somewhere. And a Scientologist comes up and says, "Stand back, everybody."
I will heal him. Damn. Candy remembers some shit.
Oh, God. Yeah, Clearwater is the headquarters for Scientology. That's why he's moving there.
Whoa.
And there's no property taxes.
Remember when you and I went to Ybor City for some concert? We got there early.
Uh-huh.
And we found the Scientology Life Improvement Center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were like, we want pictures in front of it. Hell yeah. This is so weird. And there was like big signs that say, come in for a free stress test.
Oh.
Yeah, they own all of downtown Clearwater. And everyone else who lives there is like, stay away from downtown.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because all you do is see people wearing like naval suits with their fake medals
That
and
is
their
so
weird
bizarre.
gold cuffs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I got to go get one of them stress tests.
Welcome to episode 110 of Movies with Ron, the podcast where my older brother recaps a movie he saw from beginning to end. For me and you, because we like his versions better. It's okay if you've seen the movie. It's okay if you haven't seen it. The experience is unique, so let's get it on. I'm Chris, your MC for the time being. Here with me tonight, Nurse Candy.
Hey, everybody.
And here he is, folks.
He's the ball cracker, death on foot. You know him, you love him. He's Ron. Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
And hello, listeners. Welcome to 110. We made it, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. The 110 episode cap that we agreed on when we started this show. And so that's it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen.
For real?
Nah, I'm kidding. But we do need to clear the air about an issue, right?
Yeah.
Let the airing of grievances begin. I will start. I hate all of you.
You son of a bitch.
Nah, but come on, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get real. Let's talk titty.
All right, what's going on?
Well, we've agreed to change some things, right?
Yeah.
Work on some stuff. Also, it's become clear, Candy will remember this last week, Chris cannot handle the stress of what he does for the show without exploding into an enormous green rage monster.
That was for an unrelated issue.
Fuck you, asshole.
But really, the break that we took kind of let us all know, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do this every week. I liked that. So we have, first and foremost, we've agreed to start doing the show every 2 weeks. You know,
Yeah.
give us all a little bit more of a breather, you know, namely Chris.
It'll give us all time to give you better content.
Yeah, we've been thinking about retooling, maybe changing a few things in the show. Mm-hmm. And it'll give us a little more time to be a little more creative, hopefully come up with some funnier stuff. And we might change formats completely, I don't know. You know, I am getting tired of sitting down with you guys and doing all of the talking.
Yeah, so at some point, we'll still do Movies with Ron, but peppered in there, we might have maybe a few different pilots of different shows.
Yeah.
Just to...
Throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
So expect changes. Shit, we might even change the name of the show, because I am getting tired of seeing my name on every car in town, am I right? So yeah, bottom line, expect...
Ching, 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 pom, ping, tong.
Anything goes.
All right.
I just watched that the other night.
Really?
Yeah. I was watching it with Heather and her daughter. And Heather's like, Ron says I look like this lady. And her daughter got mad. And I was like, what? She looks just like her. And her daughter goes, I think my mom is prettier. And I was like, oh, shit.
Oh.
She got me.
A shut up, kid.
Yeah, really. Kate Capshaw's beautiful.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm. She was like, I've been kissing my mom's ass for 13 years. You got nothing on me, buddy.
This my house.
Hey, speaking of Tom Cruise, I'm going to go see Mission Impossible Fallout.
Why?
Oh, man, it looks good.
Yeah, no. Everybody's saying they love it.
Yeah.
I was going to do it for this week's episode, but it's just, I'm afraid it's just too damn long.
I bought these tickets online, but it was the digital screening. Ever happened to you?
No?
They got all these different kinds of screenings now. There's the 3D and then the real D.
Oh, okay.
Then you can pick from the standard viewings. You can pick like what audio quality you want.
What?
What?
I don't know, but in the fine print of the tickets I bought, it says closed captioned, and it says sound descriptions for the hearing impaired.
Oh, no.
And I was just picking it because it was the best time of the day. But is there going to be sound during my movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, stop worrying.
All right.
I wish there were subtitles on everything that I watch.
Yeah.
All theater movies.
Yeah.
Like at home, I got that shit turned on.
Yeah, me too.
Anytime someone says, do we have to watch it with subtitles on? I'm like, only if we have to watch it with the sound on.
All right, I am embarrassed to admit this, but I am so excited for The Meg.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see this movie. I'm going to pay real money to see this movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom said you like shark movies.
Oh, yeah. This is a goddamn megalodon.
No, mean.
This is a giant shark movie, though.
I know, it's so great. It's huge.
Yeah?
Yeah. You think that's a negative point for the movie? Is that the shark is so big?
Well, I don't know. It's, with a smaller shark, the characters get closer to it, don't they? Do you think you're going to see Jason Statham, like, on the head of the shark?
I better see him in the mouth of the shark. Standing straight up. Holding the mouth open. So that all of the people in his group can escape. No, mean.
Would you rather see intelligent sharks or huge sharks? What's more entertaining for you?
I want to see talented sharks.
See, for me in a shark movie, it's all about the wrangler. You know, that shark wrangler that they hired. He's always like a loose cannon and stuff. Mm-hmm. And this time, we got none better. It's Jason Statham. He's the rich man's Thomas Jane.
I don't like him.
You don't like Jason Statham?
I know. And I have a vagina. But like, what is wrong with me? I don't know. It's
He's
weird.
the hero of the Meg.
Did you
You
know
knew that, right?
I'm going for the shark. Like,
Why are they
that's
talking
why I'm
about
going.
Jason Statham?
It was Crank that made me hate Jason Statham.
We're glad you're off that stuff. Finally.
That was a bad time.
Clean and sober. Clean as a whistle.
He sold me my first speedball.
Whoa!
No, that is not true. I was talking about Crank the movie.
That was good. You know why?
Why?
Because Dwight Yoakam was in that movie.
Hell yeah. Only thing better than Crank the movie was Crank 2 Electric Boogaloo. And speaking of Candy doing Crank, how about Skyscraper?
All right. Holy shit.
Despite the fact that I decided, or we decided, we weren't going to do any more new movies.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's one guy out there that I knew I had to do this for Because if we're going to do nothing but old movies, then I'm never going to get a chance to do a movie with The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Dennis Johnson has been waiting for that forever.
Oh, that's right.
So instead of going to see Christopher Robin, I caught Skyscraper on its last weekend in theaters.
I got a bone to pick with The Rock.
He's
Who's that?
he's the only man with a penis bigger than yours.
How does she know that?
From you.
I regret nothing.
You've talked about it enough that it is common knowledge.
Moving right along. He prefers to be called Dwayne Johnson, but he'll always be The Rock to me.
Me too. Can't you smell what he's cooking?
Okay.
I always thought if I was going to do a Rock movie, it would be The Scorpion King, But as it is, here we are.
Yeah. That was he got the highest salary for his first lead role. He set the record.
Yeah?
Oh, wow.
Previous record was Bruce Willis for Die Hard.
Oh.
Die Hard 1?
Yeah. Bruce Willis got $5 million for that.
Wow.
And it was all because he was extremely popular on the Moon show.
Moonlighting, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was extremely popular on the moon back in the 80s.
And The Rock had, the wrestling shit. And this is the Rock remaking Die Hard, apparently.
Well, it's kind of a toss-up. It's Die Hard and the Towering Inferno together.
Oh.
Plus a big penis equals Skyscraper, featuring The Rock, also known as Dwayne Johnson, also known as Big Johnson.
Who was the main character in Towering Inferno? I forgot. All right, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah?
Yeah. A good company to be in.
Well, he gets things done.
I think we live about 3 hours from him.
Yeah. We've taunted him before. I think we're cool.
All right, what would you smell if you could actually smell what The Rock was cooking?
I feel like
Round table.
it would smell like some sort of grilled chicken, but with a hint of coconut. Like tanning oil and chicken.
Oh, fuck. I was going to say breakfast. That is totally what it would smell like, though.
Candy.
A hearty stew. He seems like a guy who would just throw everything in a pot and hope it turns out for the best. He's not going to eat it, though.
No, I think it's really pleasant, freshly baked cookies or fresh donuts.
Oh, yeah. You got to look at his Instagram and shit on his cheat days because he's only got 2 a month or
Yeah.
a year. I don't know. Motherfucker makes 3-inch thick blueberry pancakes.
I'm sure he doesn't eat what he cooks. He gives it to everyone else.
Yeah.
And he goes to a back room with a jug of water and a
And a
tub.
5-gallon bucket of vomit.
Fucking vomit. What the fuck?
He's filling it. He's not eating it. I don't know. Maybe he's eating it.
He eats chicken breasts, and I read somewhere he eats 300 pounds of cod a year.
Oh, Lord.
Something like that. This is
Every year I sit down and I eat 300 pounds of cod one time. Wash it down with some tanning oil. And then I throw it up. Highest paid actor in Hollywood.
He accepted the Razzie for Baywatch.
Oh, I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, me neither.
My personal opinion, anything The Rock wears is just a costume. Anything. You catch my drift?
So, what's his natural state?
Shoulder tattoo.
All right, if you watch Gangs of New York, when you see Daniel Day-Lewis as the Bill the Butcher,
Right.
you see him in that ridiculously tall hat, and you're like,
I want to drink some of his milkshake. And I drink your milkshake. Drainage. Drainage candy.
you see him and you see Bill the Butcher. But when you see The Rock in a movie playing a character, wearing whatever his wardrobe is, he is just The Rock in a costume.
That's right. That's true.
Yep. The Rock bought himself a nice, slightly tight button-down shirt. And he wears them well. You seen him on that show, Ballers?
Yeah.
Nice clothes.
He was Tim Burton's second choice to play Willy Wonka.
Really?
Yeah, that would have been a better movie.
I think so,
I think so too.
Would have been the only movie I like of his.
Of The Rock?
I kind of like The Rundown, and I do like Jumanji.
The Rock is a great actor. He's very natural. He has natural talent. I really love The Rock. That's why everybody loves him.
I don't think he can survive in a movie by himself, though. I think he needs, like, Jack Black or the guy from The Rundown. You know, it's like he's not funny.
Kevin Hart.
He cannot be funny. Yeah, Kevin Hart, too. See, he kind of started out, I know that Scorpion King thing happened, but he got in those Fast and Furious movies, and it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, he helped make them a $1 billion franchise.
Sure.
Oh.
They even dropped him in the G.I. Joe sequel.
They sure did.
But then he was in Hercules.
Which was great.
Great movie. Okay, I like Hercules, but no one else did.
Right.
They hated the elusive marketing and they wanted a magical Hercules movie. But it all started with San Andreas.
Yep.
That started the season of Dwayne Johnson that we're still in.
The age of Dwayne. The golden age of Dwayne.
Yeah. It made 4 times its budget. And when you have a big blockbuster, that's the minimum. They consider it a success. 4 times the budget.
Yep.
Central Intelligence, 4 times the budget. Then Baywatch.
Right.
Baywatch tanked. But internationally, still made 3 times the budget. Still considered a flop.
Wow.
And that was when The Rock had his Twitter meltdown. He thought everything he touched turned to gold.
Yeah.
And it did not.
Did he, lash out?
He, had a full-blown panic attack on Twitter. Not understanding. Hating critics. But, in his Rock way. Because that's the thing. Even when he's mad, he's still a 100% public relations professional.
Yeah.
He knows what to say. But that's his problem. He knows what to say to producers. He knows how to be the man. He knows how to be The Rock.
Hell yeah.
And he can put himself in any movie just with his charisma.
I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that he's going to be playing Jack Burton in Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh.
I better have Kevin Hart in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
If he wanted to do any good. He goes to hospitals and talks to the kids.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Yeah. He knows what to say to be a good person. And he knows how to smile. But if you're that kid, if you're a kid in a hospital, The Rock is who you want to come visit you. He's the guy who's going to crouch down to your level and be like, gotta keep your chin up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit. Those are all the things he knows to say. Eat your protein. But then he's like, bye. I'm going to go to my world where I don't suffer. Ever. The Rock does not suffer. And that is why his randomness of movies being successful. You can't predict if a movie of his is going to be good. You can't rely on The Rock. He doesn't suffer. We want to see people who can suffer.
Hey, Kenny, are you scared right now? I know. Like me? Chris is getting all NPR.
Nah, come on. I mean, take something fucking superficial like Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain America. We like Captain America, even though he looks fucking ridiculous in the costume, but it's the actor, Chris Evans, knows how to suffer.
How do you know? What are you talking about?
Just in his performance, in the films. Take Chris Pratt in Guardians. He opens the gift and it's mixtape, volume 2. And he's got a tear going down his eye. Yeah. Even though he's been joking the whole movie. And you see the suffering. And you are also suffering with him. The Rock can't make you do that.
Yeah, he can't take us there, is what you're saying?
We don't know that. Because nobody hires him to suffer. They hire him to be a big action hero. And to look good. Or be funny. Because he is funny. He's good at making fun of himself. So I don't think he's been given a chance. Maybe he can suffer great. He can't ever eat cake. Can't get drunk and...
Was that a Jumanji joke? It's Kevin Hart who couldn't eat cake. It made him explode.
See, now you're making me think he's too perfect. Like, I don't hate him. Maybe he's the perfect being, you know?
Yeah.
Like-
Maybe he's Jesus Christ.
He's wasting his time being an actor.
Maybe it's all part of his plan.
And his name is Dwayne. Don't tell me he has never suffered. Like, that's a terrible name to grow up with. Just saying.
His name is The Rock.
All right, I think we got our bases covered here. The Rock doesn't suffer. All he ever wears is costumes. Apparently he can't eat cake. Swallows vomit.
He might be Jesus Christ.
With a hint of coconut.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Skyscraper on Movies with Ron.
It's showtime.
The Rock, we're coming for you. That's Mr. The Rock.
Get the people out! Come on! Get the people out!
I will never forget that you said that. Like, from now on, every Rock movie, I will be looking for suffering.
Even when
I'm just saying.
Even when he's pretending to feel pain, like, he's not suffering.
Because he can take it. Because he's perfect. So we start off, and Mr. The Rock is like a FBI hostage saver team guy.
Yeah.
Has some kind of, something goes wrong, okay? And he ends up on a hospital gurney, and he's like blown to shit.
Oh, wow.
Nev Campbell is his doctor.
Oh.
And she's like, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. And he's like, like he's got no jaw.
Oh.
It's nasty. Anyway, he ended up losing his penis. In this horrible, horrible thing that happened to him, a big explosion. He's never been the same since. Then we get a bunch of shots of Hong Kong, where they are building the world's tallest skyscraper. Yeah. And there's all this news footage about this skyscraper. It's called the Pearl, okay?
Uh-huh.
And it looks like a upside down dildo. Like, reaching towards the sky. The ball's at the top, the ball sack. It's a big ball at the top. It's weird. And it's being built by this guy, played by Chin Han. He's like the world's super billionaire. His name is Zhao Longji. The Rock is big, sweaty, oily bohunk. Get married to big, oily bohunk. Anyway, there's all this news footage is like, wow, it's amazing. And it's like a city in the sky. Like all the power for it is all generated by these two helix wind turbines up at the top.
The balls.
No. They're like behind the ball sack.
Okay.
It's really just one ball. And Zhang Longji, he promises that ball sack in the sky is going to be the 8th wonder of the world. It's going to be the biggest tourist attraction ever. So, the Pearl, this is the building's name. The lower half is all like commercial shit, and the upper half is all residential. And it is not open yet because of that giant ball on top. No insurance company will cover it. They're like, hell no.
Oh.
It's an upside down penis. The ball's at the top. It's gonna fall. So they're like, they're having it inspected, by an engineering firm, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And if that guy can just sign off on the park, maybe even pen a wee testimonial, well, I can get right back on schedule. Then the insurance people will cover it. The company is owned by The Rock.
Damn.
Oh.
He's the one going in to like double check all the architect's math and everything and say that it's safe. He's got to inspect the fire systems, the security systems, everything, okay? And today is the big day where he is going to go and meet Zhang Longdong. And he's like, trying to put his tie on. And then his wife, Dr. Nev Campbell, comes up behind him and she's like, hey, killer, what you got there for me? And he's like, nothing. She's like, no, come on. It looks good. And he's like, strapping on his prosthetic penis. She's like, they did a really good job. And it's good that you decided to go so big with it. You don't think I'm overcompensating? I was like, hell no, honey. Have you seen yourself? Shit, you smell like coconut. And you're so handsome. You think I'm going to fuck this meeting up? She's like, not at all. You've been preparing for this for 6 months. You know this building better than the architects. Now go out there and kick some ass, baby. Oh, and fix my phone, would you? And he's like, oh, geez. All that was just so I'd fix your phone? And she's like, well, sort of. And he's like, all right, have you turned it off and turned it on again? Like, that's his advice. And when it happened in the movie, I was like, this is a fucking joke. That's what all the dummies say when things go wrong. No, he's being serious. He's like, 90% of the time, anything, you can fix it by turning it off and turning it on. And she's like, oh, well, here you go, fix it.
That's kind of true.
We're not talking about your vibrators, buddy. We're talking about skyscrapers, okay? He's so nervous. He's like, I'm fucked. You got this. All right, get out there.
So now he has to go perform the inspection?
Yeah, and he's got to go meet Zhang Longji.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, kids. He's got 2 twins. It's a boy and a girl. And everything's fun. We live in Hong Kong now. You guys are going to go see pandas. I'm going to go to this meeting. Who loves you? Daddy, you love us. Yeah, Daddy loves you. That's right, baby. Oh, here, honey, I fixed your phone. Well, what'd you do? I turned it off and turned it on again. And I was like, oh, okay. That's the foreshadowing. That's what's going to save the world somehow. So on his way, he meets his buddy, Pablo Schreiber? He's the one who plays like a sympathetic villain sometimes. He was the main guy in Den of Thieves. He was amazing in Den of Thieves.
Oh.
Also known as Porn Stash. And Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
He works for Zhang, okay? And he's the one who got The Rock the opportunity to do this job.
Uh-huh.
So he's taking him up to meet him at the top of the ball sack, okay? And they go through this huge, lush lobby that's like as big as a city block. It's weird, man. They're going up impossible elevators. There, you ready? You ready to meet him? Here, we're going to go into his penthouse. It's actually also a panic room with like 12-inch thick steel walls and shit. Because, the guy's billionaire.
Yeah.
So he meets him, and Zhang is like, oh, Mr. The Rock. Okay, so you and your family, you're our first family in the residential section of the building. How are your 2 children, Thing 1 and Thing 2? And The Rock's like, oh, you know a lot. You've done your homework, man. Well, fucking whatever. Yes. Here, meet my peeps. This is Mr. Pierce. He's my right-hand man. And then this guy right here is my chief of security. Hey. Hey. So you're going to cover all this stuff, and once you sign off on it, the insurance companies will cover us, and we can open up this building.
Is The Rock and his family living there right now?
They are staying there, yeah, for the inspection. They're the only family in the residential half of the building.
Okay.
So here you go, The Rock. This is a tablet, and once it is bound to your biometric, disease data, I don't know, whatever, only you are going to be able to control the fire system and the security system. This is for the duration of your inspection. So here you go. Here's a tablet. Hey, you want to go see the ball sack? And he takes him up into it, and it's just The Rock and Zhang. While they go in there, his buddy Porn Stash is like, sending an evil text message. Turns out the ball sack is a giant, state-of-the-art planetarium. And it's like, it's got projection screens all around it and also cameras all around it. And you end up seeing like 1 million different reflections of them. And he's like, wow, this is amazing. He goes through, yes, there's 10 billion, micro cameras inside and on the outside too. Well, what do you mean? Why? And then it all disappears and it looks like they're standing in the middle of the air in the city.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's cool. And Zhang is like, welcome to heaven, Mr. The Rock. Yeah, cool. And with the 1 million reflections of them, The Rock is like looking at him and talking. And then Zhang is like, yeah, I'm actually way over there. And then all the reflections disappear. And yep, he was talking to a projection. You think this is the real Quaid? It's not. I mean, it is. Where's Rick? So later, Pornstache and The Rock, they're on a ferry, going out to inspect the control center for that building, which is like a mile away, all right? And Pornstache is like, hey, man, you ever miss it? No, man, I told you. I'm married and I'm straight. Straight now. It's not what I'm talking about. We used to be on the same FBI team. Yeah, I don't know. After the accident, I kind of put down my sword and, never again. Ah, come on, buddy. That was just bad luck. Well, without that bad luck, I never would have met Sarah. I'd be lost without her. Yeah, whatever. We're here. The boat pulls in and they're leaving, and then some mugger comes up behind him and, cuts The Rock in the arm. And The Rock doesn't react because no pain is too bad for The Rock. He doesn't suffer at all. Anyway, he steals The Rock's bag and runs away. Pornstache is picking him up like, hey, buddy, you all right? Yeah, here. And then he pulls out of his jacket the tablet. He's like, good thing I put this in my jacket. And Pornstache is like, God damn it. All right, come on, we got to clean up your cut. Let's go back to my place. So now we're in a boiler room somewhere in the Pearl, and there's a random worker, just turning nuts and making steam happen. And then he hears a weird noise. What the hell is that? And he takes his flashlight. He goes over to investigate, and then all this concrete comes out of the wall, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" And then all of a sudden, all this gas just comes into the room. He's like, holy shit! What is that? And then, ladies and gentlemen, in comes the terrorist team. All right, that's right. We're going to take over your building, and we're going to fuck your dog. Anyway, The Rock's like, yeah, see, I have the tablet. It didn't get stolen. Pornstache is like, yeah, that's totally good. Shit. The Rock calls his family. They couldn't go see the pandas because the son had an asthma attack or something, so the son has asthma.
Oh.
So they're going home early. Back to the Pearl, and they run into the fake maintenance team. Okay? Mm-hmm. Our terrorists, they're already
suited up.
Yeah, they're getting stuff done. Oh, we thought this floor was empty. Yeah, we did too. You got cute kids though. Oh, look, a young knight and a young little princess. And then the daughter actually says, I'm a king.
What?
And I was like, what?
Aw.
Yeah, then the terrorist is like, 1,000 apologies, your majesty. His buddy's like, hey, you want me to kill them? No, it's fine. The situation will take care of itself. Back with Pornstache, he's like, hey, wait, you just got off the phone with your family and they're back at home at the Pearl? Yeah, I gotta go. My son had an asthma attack or something. And then Pornstache is like, all right, man, you fucked up. Why did you have to put it in your jacket, buddy? What are you talking about? And then Pornstache points a gun at him.
Oh.
And he's like, that's it? You know what? Fuck you and your perfect life. We had that accident. I had to take a medical discharge. And you get what? You get a new life? Well, I lost my penis too, man. So it does not get worse than that. I was going to go out into the snow somewhere and blow my brains out. But Dr. Nev Campbell, she saved me, man. Now what the hell? Why are you pointing that gun at me? Come on, brother. Oh, we're not brothers. We're lovers. And then, they get into a fight. It is awesome, too. It's a who can break the most shit in the room fight.
All right.
They are crashing everything. They are trashing the place. The Rock, he pulls out a kitchen knife to fight Pornstache's gun. And he's slashing at the gun. It's going ting, ting. They're rolling around. The Rock gets the gun, and then Pornstache comes in for a kiss. He's on top of him, grabbing him. They're rolling, and then boom, the gun goes off. The Rock is like, oh shit. And Pornstache is like, yep, you got me. All right. I got one clean right through the middle of the chest here. I might be in some trouble. And The Rock is like, oh, it's okay, buddy. Don't worry. You're going to be okay. Remember, I'm a good guy. I mean, you were going to kill me, but I'm still going to try to save your life. All right, here, sit up, drink some water. All right. Don't worry about the hole in your chest. It's going to be fine. Don't you worry, buddy. Your family, they weren't supposed to go back. Your family's fucked, man. What did you do, porn stash? What did you do? And he just sticks his finger in the gunshot wound. And, like, flicks his heart. It's gross.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah. Don't you worry. Hey, what does this feel like? Don't get this opportunity every day. I didn't want to let it go by. Anyway, now we see the terrorists, okay? And they're spreading, flammable powder all over the place, okay? They got these containers, these blue containers they're walking around with. And then that lead terrorist, the lead maintenance guy, he's like, light a man's house on fire and find out what he truly loves. And then he lights a flare, and then, whoom! He lights that floor of the building on fire, okay?
Wow.
They're on the 96th floor. This is the bottom of the residential half.
Uh-huh.
You got that? Up at the penthouse, Chow is like, hey, I think something is on fire. Also, this state-of-the-art building, state-of-the-art fire system. It's supposed to put the shit out in seconds, right? We learned that in the beginning, but, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy's like, we better get you out of here, sir. I assure you, we are completely safe. The fire's on the 96th floor. It will stay there. The suppression system will keep it there. It's fine. Pornstash is like, I set you up, buddy. They need that tablet that you have. They are going to kill you. Who? And then Pornstash just, he dies.
Oh.
Of Ebola that he got in a subway station earlier. That's what killed him before the gunshot did. So he bled out of his eyes and his ass. Yeah. The Rock's like, oh shit. He gets up and he looks way across town and he sees there's the Pearl and there's one floor that is on fire. And he's like, shit, my family! So he leaves the hotel room, whatever, and immediately gets attacked by a bunch of terrorists that are there for the tablet.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're shooting at him and shit. He's just got to run. He goes outside and he runs into a creepy terrorist lady. She's obviously some sort of third in command, She's like, hello, The Rock. And he's like, who are you? And then she just tases him right in his balls. But he has no dick, so she has to do it a second time in the heart.
Does he have balls? Did
No.
they save his balls?
They didn't save them. Well,
He
he's
had
got
kids.
2 kids.
All right. Okay.
They save 1 ball. They say you only need half a ball.
That's why the skyscraper only has 1 ball. It's like a metaphor.
It's totally a metaphor.
It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with 2 balls.
So he's out cold, and she takes his tablet and then puts it in front of his face. It reads his face, and now she can control the fire and security system in the building. So the maintenance guy, the lead terrorist dude, he talks to her on the phone. He's like, okay, shut down the lower half of the building and then disable the fire suppression system in the upper half of the building. And she's like, yep, cool. She does that. He's like, okay, now force the fire upwards, open up all the elevator shafts, and let in fresh oxygen. And then they do that, and whoa, the fire just goes up, man. It is cool. The Rock calls his wife, and he sees the building's on fire. He's like, go up. You can't go down, so go up. Don't worry, the fire suppression system should be fine. And he's on the phone with her, like a video chat, when all of the elevator doors explode and fire comes out.
Oh,
and then
God.
they lose connection. And he's like, oh shit, my family just died.
God.
Zhao, up in the penthouse, he's like, oh shit, shit's going down. My security team is dead, because they were down there. And the news in Hong Kong, it's all about this fire, this building that's on fire. And they're like, The Rock. They're showing pictures of him. He's the guy who was supposed to be in charge of the fire inspection, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no.
He's probably responsible for this. And then the whole, Hong Kong is like, get The Rock! Everybody, his face is plastered everywhere.
God.
He's just, running to the building, and a cop sees him. He's like, shaking his gun. You! Put your hands up. You don't know, man. My family, they're in there. I got to go. Other cops come up to arrest him. They put their hands on him, and you can see him just oh, no, you didn't. And then he kicks these cops' asses, and then he runs. And they're all like, get him! He's got a big penis! Back with Zhong, his main man, Mr. Pierce, is like, okay, your building's on fire, man. What are you going to do? We got to get you out of here. If this building keeps burning like this, the air above it is going to superheat, and then we're not going to be able to take off in the helicopter. So our window for escape here is dwindling. And then Zhang's like, okay, you know what? Prep the helo. And then he goes into his panic penthouse. That's what it's called. It's a panic room, but it's a whole penthouse, okay? And he goes into his safe, and he's like looking in there. And it just cuts to the Rock trying to get back into the Pearl, okay? The lower half is all shut down, so a man's got to do what a man's got to do. He climbs the construction scaffolding. I might add, this is the tallest building in the world, so it took a while. But the movie does a real good job of not showing you that. We see some cops. Okay, they're partners. It's a man and a woman, and they're talking, and they're like researching the Rock, like, and his wife. Like, I think it's a plan. I think they're in on this.
Oh no!
There is now a news chopper, like hovering over the man with the big penis climbing the building. Like, we have found the Rock. He's climbing the building. Word has it, big penis. And all the crowd, they're like gathering around and watching him. Other cops, they're chasing him up the scaffolding and stuff. So it's like, when shit goes down, it goes down fast in this movie.
Yeah.
We're only like 2 minutes in. He gets to the top of the scaffolding and he has to jump. He wants to get to the control room for the crane, which is so big, you know, it's not a cockpit, it's a room.
Yeah.
And he has to do this big jump across, you know, and he's like thousands of feet up. So the whole crowd is like, whoa! He's doing that shit where he's like hanging by one hand, and that's the movie poster. And he's like, yeah, I got a big dick now. He gets in the crane and he rotates it, okay? And we see Zhang and his security chief, who is like, all right, man, it is pretty weird that your building's on fire. Why don't you tell me what's really going on? Who is behind this? And Zhang is like, Botha. He's a fucking terrorist, man. And this is what he wants. And he holds up this memory card, this drive or whatever. We can't let him get it. All right, then Mr. Pierce walks in, who's like, hey, what's going on?
We having a gangbang?
No. No, the helicopter is waiting. Let's go. Back with the Rock, he starts swinging the crane ball, you know. It's not a wrecking ball. It's got a hook on it, but he's like swinging it like a wrecking ball. And he like smashes the window of the building.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, all right. And
Swinging one ball.
Yeah, swinging his one ball. Low hanging. Low hanging fruit of his loin. The cops are watching this shit on TV and they're like, man, what the hell is this guy? Big penis? The cops, they have to like cut, you know, he wrapped the door with a chain or whatever. They're like trying to cut through. So he gets the window broken and he's like, sorry, boys. And then he runs out onto the top of the crane, which is itself very high. He's got no fear. He doesn't suffer. He like climbs out there and the cops get through and they're like, hey, whoa. He's like, okay, whoa. He puts his hands up. Don't shoot. Yeah, it's cool. Come back. How big is your penis? He's like, all right. That's it. And he just turns and runs. They start shooting at him and he has to jump from the crane to the building itself. Oof. And he almost does not make it. Like, he's like hanging by his fingertips. Like the entire world watching it on the news and also the crowd downstairs that has gathered. They're all like, whoa! On the news, they're like, the biggest penis in Hong Kong has been found. He made it! Yay! People are starting to like root for him. Like, man, this guy. Shit falls. He almost falls down. He has to grab it with his other hands. Cool, he's a Rock. Finally, he makes it up onto the floor and he turns around and he faces the spotlight from the chopper and he's just like, yeah. Y'all see that shit? And even the cops are like, yeah, he made it. Cuts to his family. They're trying to escape. Now things are burning. Okay, remember there were explosions and the kid, his asthma is acting up. They have to run all over the place because everywhere they go, it catches fire. Zhang and his men are going to the helicopter. And the chief is like, wait a minute, stop. What? What's wrong? That's not our pilot. And he's pointing at the helicopter. And then Mr. Pierce is like, oh yeah, I forgot. You guys, I'm a bad guy.
Oh.
And he holds up his gun. And out comes Botha, who is the main terrorist. You know, he's the one that wants this memory card. He was also the maintenance guy, remember?
Yeah.
Everybody pulls out guns. Everybody's shooting and shit. Botha looks at Jong and he's like, hey, you miss me? Yeah, why don't you just kill me? Well, I can't do that. The men I work for, they'll kill me if I don't get that memory card, okay? And then we see that his security chief is still alive. And he's like, creeping his hand towards his gun. And he gets it, and then he just sits up and shoots the pilot of the helicopter. And you're like, what? And then the pilot falls over on the controls and loses control of the helicopter and blows it up.
Oh, man.
So now there's no way for any of them to escape. And it's like, there's a good security chief. And both was like, shit. Jong gets away. He makes a beeline for his, panic penthouse, where he immediately takes off his clothes and gets into a furry costume. And then he shuts the doors. Big security doors. And the terrorists, man, they can't open it. They're like, shit, bong, bong. The creepy chick at the control center, she's like, hey, it looks like The Rock is in the building. I don't know why we didn't kill him. Anyway, he's got control, of the shit. He'll be able to open those doors. Also, his family's in the building if they're still alive. So, you know what that means. Pierce is like, yeah, we need The Rock. And then Botha, no. We know what he wants, so that's what we want. We cut to The Rock, and he's having his John McClane taking care of his bleeding feet scene.
Yeah.
He's got a shard of something in his shoulder. He's on a construction floor, so he goes and finds a toolbox with a hammer, some duct tape, and a bottle of vodka in it. So he sits down, and he's like, oh, shit, I'm fine. I do not suffer. And he sees his prosthetic dildo is bent, to the left. He's like, shit.
I am not masturbating from this day forward.
So he pulls the shard out of his shoulder and he's like, yeah, I'm a man with a big penis. It's on the floor right now, but it's fine. And then he pours the vodka into the wound, and then he looks at the camera and winks. Just about. You'd expect him to. But he chugs the rest of the vodka. And it's like, yep. He got stabbed in his giant tattoo. Shoulder tattoo.
Oh.
And he starts wrapping it in duct tape. And he's like, if you can't fix it with duct tape, you're not using enough duct tape. Picks up that hammer and bangs the penis back into shape. He gets on a view screen because he's all techie and informed, and he finds where his family is. He's like, okay, you're going through the park. There's a park inside this building.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Go through the park. I'll find you. Oh, I'll find you. And there's all these shots of the building as you're towering fucking inferno. Mr. Pierce finds Sarah and the kids, and he's like, okay, bitch. Gunpoint. She ends up stabbing him and telling the kids to run, so they do, and they end up separated by fire. She has to fight Pierce, and he's just about to shoot her when The Rock finds them, and then he's like, what? Oh, it's you. And right then, his wife, Sarah, just throws him over the railing, and he falls down to his death in the fire.
Damn.
And they got to do some shit. The kids ended up getting separated themselves. It's weird, man. You go that way, I'll go this way. Whoever lives wins.
What?
No, the terrorists found him and they were chasing him, and the boy was like, girl, you go that way, be safe. They end up separated by fire again, okay? So The Rock is like, okay, babe, here we are. I'm gonna lower this board across this towering chasm of flame and death. You walk across, get our son, and then you walk on back. I'm gonna hold everything still. And she's like, okay. And she does that, all right? She gets the little boy on her back, and she's walking across. And then The Rock is like, I can't hold it anymore! She ends up falling and then grabbing onto this board with her hands. And her son is hanging off of her back. So she's like,
Oh, God.
And The Rock is like, come on, you can do it. Yep, good. She gets up. It's impossible, but she does it. And she comes back. So they're together again. Okay, so where is our daughter? Where's Georgia? The boy's like, she's way up there. See that with the terrorists? And The Rock's like, yeah, okay, I'm coming, Georgia. Okay, you two, you gotta get the boy out of here because he's got asthma. This is serious. It's a fire. And she's like, okay, what do I do? All right, check it out. I'm putting you in the elevator. Now, these elevators, they got pretty strong brakes, okay? It's an electromagnetic brake. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you in the elevator. I'm going to cut the cable, okay? You follow me so far? And she's like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I'm going to cut the cable and you're going to fall. Like, it's fucking unbelievable. You are going to fall and that you're probably going to die from fright. Okay? But all you got to do is fall past the turned off fire systems. Once you get into the floors where it's on, then you're going to hit the brake and the electromagnetics they're going to stop you. You got that? And she's like, no. He's like, good, here we go. The boy's like, I'm scared, Dad. And he's like, no shit, you should be. All right, I'm going to cut this cable. You count to 5 and then pull the lever. And then he does. He cuts the cable. And that elevator just, whoa. They're like, whoa, drop it. They count to 5. She's like, count with me. And he's like, my brains are going into my feet. She pulls the lever. They stop. And then the bad guys find Georgia. And they're like, hey, little girl. Hey, you come with us now. It's going to be okay. She's like, no, she runs. And then they have to hunt her down in a steamy boiler room. And they're following her footprints, which lead them right to The Rock! Boom, boom, boom! Oh, he's taking care of shit. Botha shows up, and he's like, I got my gun. Don't move, man. And he looks down at his daughter. He's like, oh, your majesty. She's like, yeah, I'm a king. I hear your dad knows everything about this building and fake penises. I designed it myself. It's got thorns.
Oh, man, Nev Campbell designed it. Candy, if your man lost his dick, wouldn't you be the one to be like, I'm going to pick what you're going to wear?
Heck yes. That would be great.
Well, she picked one with thorns. Botha's like, you're going to open up the Panic Penthouse for me. I can't, man. You can only open those doors from the inside, or if the fire alarm on that floor was going off, but you turned it off, so it's not going to happen. Every man has a weakness once you know what he loves. Zhang's weakness is his building. Yours is your family. You just need some motivation. And then he has his guys like, beat the shit out of the Rock. And they beat him down, and they take his daughter, and he's like, now listen, man, you're going to get me to Zhang, or I'm gonna throw your daughter off the fucking roof. And the Rock like slowly looks up at him. And he's like, you got a deal. Botha's like, I hear it's like heaven up there. Your friend was a bad guy. He told me everything you said. Go to the roof, boys. Daddy! And they leave. And they leave the Rock alone. Like, go do your task. And he's like laying on the floor, and he gets up and he hears on the news, there are survivors exiting the building. It's a woman and a boy. And he's like, hooray.
Good.
They come out, and the boy's like, my dad is a good guy. He's not the bad guy. Mrs. The Rock, how big is your son's penis? Mrs. The Rock. Stop laughing. We don't want that one on the show. Stop laughing. Mrs. The Rock, just how big is your husband's penis? I designed it myself. It's got thorns. The Rock's like, he's already taken care of business. He's off at like another panel, and he's like, okay, got to be a way to open these doors. Let's do this. All right, Zhang, where'd you put the subroutine panel? You know, the secret panel that's going to open these doors. Where is it? And he finds it. Oh, okay, it's behind those double turbine helix things at the top of the building. That's great. That's cool. Thanks, man. So now we got to go up high outside the building and deal with that shit, right? Mm-hmm. The cops are interviewing Sarah, and they're like, listen, there is a lot going around about your husband's penis, but we think that he is involved in this heist, this fire. We think he said it. She's like, no. What does he have a big penis? And she's like, yes. All right, who else did you see? She's like, there was this guy, and they're like, oh, Botha, Carl Botha. He is a terrorist. Okay? He's the second cousin of Hans Gruber. This man also has a large penis, ma'am. Your husband is in trouble. She's like, yeah, I saw them carrying containers, blue containers. They had wings on them and some word. Look it up. They look it up, and it's a parachute company. Like, oh, shit. So they're planning to base jump off of the top of the building. That's how they're going to escape. So they look around the building, okay? They look at a map for clear landing spots. And she's like, yeah, that over there. What's that? Some construction site. Don't worry about that. Don't you think you should worry about that? Yeah, okay, maybe. Look. My husband's not involved. I'll prove it to you. Take me out there with you. And if I'm wrong, baby. Cutting back to the Rock, he's like, all right, I need some rope, and I need this ceremonial dagger from a Chinese suit of armor here. I need it to cut the rope. So he takes that, he like wraps the rope around himself. He's getting ready to do business. The devil's business. He goes and breaks the window, and he's like looking outside. I gotta walk on the outside of this building. It's like 20 miles high, I don't know. Yeah. And he's like, this is stupid. So now he's walking along the ledge outside, and he like has to do little jumps over, chasms and stuff. And the whole crowd's like, oh my God, he made it. Sarah's like watching him on the news. She's like, come on, baby, you got this. You got this. He ties part of the rope off, and he has to like do that shit where you're like hanging onto a rope, but walking backwards down a straight drop off.
Yeah.
It's got a name, whatever.
Rappelling?
Yes. He has to rappel down. He gets to the level with the spinning turbines. Remember, they're spun by the wind. It's like windy up there. So, if it was me, I would just like, all right, I made it this far, and then whew. And that's how I died. Everybody on the ground would be talking like when I hit, they'd be like, there was a man up. The man that's fallen. So now he's at these turbines, okay? And he's got to put his rope away because it's still tied up high. But he needs to be able to grab onto it again. So he pulls off his fake penis and he ties it around it. And then he jams the penis like around something so that he can walk into the turbines, which are like, spinning! And he has to stand there and like count. Okay, 1, 2, 3... All right. Okay, go. And he jumps through it. He makes it. Everybody's like, yeah. He gets to this panel. He's like, okay, easy. I cut the wire. The door's open and I climb back up. 10 miles of ropes. No problem. I got big arms.
Yeah.
Oh. So then he does it. He cuts the wire and Jong is in his penthouse in like his pink furry suit. And he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening? He was like laying on his pool table drinking milk. The fucking doors are opening. Holy shit. Right then, there's an explosion on the turbines because the building is still on fire, right? So the Rock has to like jump out of them. Holy shit. He grabs onto his dick. Okay. And then he's like, he's twirling at the end of this rope, like in the air, hanging off of this building. Oh. And he ends up like hanging upside down. It is crazy, man. Whoa. Finally, he rights himself and he climbs back up. Everybody is like, holy shit, this man is amazing. He climbs back up. He gets back into the building, and like his wife's watching this shit on the news like, oh my God, I'm so happy he saved the penis. It's okay. Everything is going to be okay. She turns to the cops. She's like, does that look like a man with a plan? The Rock goes to the panic room, okay? And Jong is inside, and he's like, already closing the doors again. And the Rock is like, oh, no, you don't. And he takes his penis and he throws it. And it, bong, jams the doors open. Ooh. Long enough for him to get inside. And he like grabs his dick. And then he lets the doors close. And he's like, all right. That's amazing. Come on. He's like, yes, I made it. Oh, and he picks up the penis and he like kisses it. Like, yeah, baby, you and me. And then he just hears, don't move. And he turns and sees that Zhang is behind him, holding him at gunpoint.
Oh.
And the Rock is just like, you're too close. What? And then, whoom, the Rock roundhouses him, takes him down. And he takes the gun from him. He's like, we need to talk. It cuts to them a little while later having milk and calming down. Okay, listen, if we're going to get out of this, you got to tell me who this guy is and, what's his deal. Yes, Carl Botha. He handles extortion for all of the crime syndicates, in Hong Kong and all over the world, whatever. And when I started construction on the Pearl, he contacted me and he's like, listen, you're going to pay me money or I'm going to stop your workforce. I'm going to start a strike. You're not going to be able to finish your building. So, pay me now. And The Rock's like, you paid him. Yeah, I sure did. But I hid some tracking software in the wire transfer. That way, I could trace every offshore transaction. Okay? I saw where the money was going, and I saw all of the bank accounts it was going to. I had all of their account numbers, all of their names, all of their penis sizes, their identities, everything. And that was my insurance policy. So I would never get extorted again, okay, by Botha. But then when the syndicates found out that I knew just how small their penises were, they threatened Botha that if he didn't clean up his mess, they'd kill him. Now, if he kills me, copies of the drive go to the police. But if he gets this one, this original, then he can reverse engineer my tracking, blah, blah, fucking blah, and he can fix everything. You got that? So he set your building on fire. Yeah. Totally, man. All right, then we're going to give him what he wants. Man, he'll just kill both of us. Yeah, maybe, but he's got my daughter. I'm taking that drive to the roof, with or without you or your balls. You good? And he's like, yeah, okay. You got a plan? And then The Rock's like, you got any duct tape? And it's like, dun, dun, dun. And then we just see a bunch of shots of the building like, on fire! This is serious! And on the roof, there's all the baddies, and they're like, okay, let's hook up the parachutes, get ready to do this. And then The Rock shows up with Jong. Oh, yeah, you got him. I knew you'd find a way. He's like, I want my daughter. And then Jong pulls a gun on The Rock, and he's like, hold it right there. Oh. And it's like, what the hell? You need me alive with this hard drive. You give me a parachute, or you get nothing. And then Botha's like, to his buddy, give him your parachute. Oh. And it's like, wait, what, man? Give it to him. And I would hate to be that guy. It's like, okay, now bring the drive over here. All right. And then he throws the drive. And they're all like, what the fuck? And then it turns out they're in the ball, and it's all projection. And they're like, oh shit, you're double crossed. And then they all start shooting and shit. And then somebody drops a fucking grenade or something, and there's a big old explosion. Botha gets away with the little girl. And now we see the cops. They're getting to the construction site like, oh, it looks like she was right. There's armed suspects there. You know how she knew about that? Could still mean she's in on it.
Oh, brother.
But whatever. So now they have to fight all these people. And that creepy lady, she's like, the super assassin girl from Die Hard 3.
Oh, God.
I like killing. So she's killing cops and stuff. And Sarah ends up getting involved and then getting caught by her and choked. And then the cops end up killing her. Later, there's The Rock and Jong. And he looks at Jong and he's like, man, good job back there. You almost had me convinced. He's like, yeah, it was all part of the plan. Now let's go find your daughter. Oh, it turns out I'm shot. Oh. So The Rock is like, oh, all right, here, let me stick my finger in there. You don't get this opportunity a lot. You know? Let me tell you. All right, I'm coming back for you. Okay, you stay right here. Put your finger in it. He goes out and he's hunting for Botha and his daughter in the fire. He finds him and he's like, all right, turn around. And then Botha turns around and he's got the little girl. He's got Georgia. I'll drop her. Okay, you win. All right, now toss me the drive. Okay, here it is, but there's just one thing you should know first. Yeah? What's that? I'm behind you. And it turns out they're in the ball still. Oh. And boom, blah, 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 they start fighting. Hey, that is a stupid bad guy. How can the same guy fall for the same shit twice? They're fighting. He ends up getting him and then throwing him out the explosion hole and down into the fire. So, that's the end of Botha. Dies.
Oh.
He might be okay.
Yeah. So then The Rock grabs his daughter and he's like, let's get out of here. We see the cops and there was Sarah and she's got a tablet in her hands and she's playing Candy Crush. They're like, what's that? Oh, it's a tablet. I found it. That girl had it. Oh, here, look. It looks like I can control all the security and fire systems in the building with this. So she's like flicking through it like, it's a Unix system. I know this. And we cut to The Rock in Georgia, and things are not going well. Everything is burning now. And he's like, I told that guy Jong that I'd be back for him, but it looks like we're all fucked. Like everywhere they turn is just burning. Sarah, she cannot get the fire systems back online. The cop is like, let me do it. No! Well, is it working? Not yet. And then The Rock, he grabs his daughter and just sits down in the middle of this fire to die with her.
Wow.
And he's like holding on to her. And it's actually, to be honest, a little suffering. And he's like holding her and he's rocking back and forth. He's like, I got you, baby. Don't you worry, okay? Daddy loves you. Who loves you? Who loves you, okay? Daddy. Oh, I'm sorry, okay? I'm so sorry. And then Sarah, God bless her, she figures it out. She goes to the part of the tablet that says, shut the building down and then reboot the system.
All right.
And so she does that, and it's like, building shut down. And so The Rock is like, not only do we have to sit in the fire, but all the lights went out too. And then it reboots, and all of the fire systems turn back on. And they put that fire out in like 5 seconds.
Holy crap.
It's like, that's all you needed to do. And Sarah's like, I turned it off and turned it back on. Yeah. And the cop's like, whoa, it worked. Yeah, I'm smart. And then it just shows The Rock and Georgia, and they got Jong. And they're like, yeah, standing at the side of the floor in the light from the helicopter, the news chopper.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we made it, baby. The whole crowd just going wild. Yeah, man, The Rock, a big penis. Come on. Everything's going to be okay. You see that big ball sack on the side, on the building? It's like, blown in half. And then The Rock holds up the drive to Zhang, and he's like, here you go, man. Zhang's like, thanks. That's my thing. So, what are you going to do now? And Zhang goes, rebuild. And it's like, you'd expect him with you as my new head of security. But he did not make any such offer.
Oh.
He's like, never see you again. And then the chopper lands, you know, with them in it, and they get out, and everybody is going crazy. They are cheering so big. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And The Rock gets out. He's like, where's my wife? Where's my wife? And my son? Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. And then she comes running up to me, babe. And she's got her son, and they're all hugging and together, and everything is going to be fine. And she's like, you need a shower. Yeah, Mr. The Rock, show us your penis. And he like holds it up with one hand on a big muscly arm. And they're all like, yeah. And everything's going to be fine. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts screaming. And it's Carl Botha. And he's holding up a rifle. And everybody's like, oh, no, no, no. And then, boom, he takes a bullet to the head and flies backwards. And everybody's like, who did it? Who shot him? They turn around. And it's Sergeant Al Powell from Die Hard.
Oh, wow.
Dun, dun, dun. With his revolver still smoking.
Damn.
And the credits roll, baby.
Fuck yeah.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Skyscraper on Movies with Ron.
All right.
That's probably the best Rock movie I've ever heard.
There you go.
Good job, Ron.
Thank you, darling.
I thought he really represented disabled people with the fake dick.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It was an accurate portrayal.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to see Nev Campbell, like in a summer blockbuster with The Rock.
I know.
Coming back out of nowhere, kind of. It's an interesting choice. Was she good?
She was amazing. There you have it. Dennis Janssen, I hope you are happy.
For a second there, I thought The Rock was done for.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to get burned up.
He was sitting there, like ready to.
Yeah. We were about to smell the rock cooking.
Himself cooking in the fire. Turns out it smells like IKEA's Swedish meatballs with lingonberry jam. Surprised everyone.
All right, folks. It's that time again. If you're using Apple Podcasts or iTunes, we'd love it if you'd leave us a rating and review. That'd really help us out. We're on all your other favorite podcast apps and movieswithron.com. We got a Facebook page. We got Twitter, @movieswithron. And remember, we'll see you in 2 weeks. It's been fun.
Yep, we love you.
See you guys.
Movies with Ron.
So the main terrorist guy, he's like, okay, shut down the lower half. Hang on, I need to update my computer. It only take a couple hours. His update alerts are like, boom, 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 boom.
Fuck you.
Tubular bells and shit. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we got an update.
What the fuck? I know. Where does that even come from?
What's that movie that had that shit in it? That's the Shining music I was
Yes,
doing.
it is.
You ready? Do it again.